Hello friends, in this video I am going to demonstrate how you can transfer Tally Prime data into Microsoft Azure Data Lake service. So Data Lake service supports easy connectivity to Power BI and Excel for reporting and dashboarding purpose. So this video I would be focusing more on transferring data and connecting your Excel and Power BI with Data Lake. Let's understand in brief what is Data Lake. So Data Lake is a cloud-based storage just like your Microsoft OneDrive, but there are few differences. So OneDrive is mostly suitable for office workloads like just simple editing of your PowerPoint, Word, Excel, mostly for office purpose. But Data Lake is mostly suitable for analytical workloads, which we are going to use. And Data Lake is faster compared to OneDrive because in OneDrive you pay charges on monthly basis and Microsoft alerts you shared capacity. Okay, but in Data Lake you are charged on per GB basis, so performance is faster. Now let me clarify the advantage of Data Lake over database. So Tally 2 database loader utility primarily was designed to transfer your Tally data into database server on the cloud so that you could easily connect to your Power BI or Excel with the cloud-based database. Okay, but as you know, cloud database is a bit costly. So if you scroll a bit, okay, so as on the date of this video, so if you see, let's say if I want to analyze data for one Tally company, so I'll have to create one database on Azure. So it would charge me monthly 465 something rupees, okay, fixed. Let's say if you want to analyze two or three Tally companies, so this cost would multiply by, so three companies almost it would go 1300 a month. But with Data Lake, this is not the case. The game is totally changed. Okay, Data Lake charges you cost based on your GBs of data store. Okay, now if you notice your Tally data is just going maybe in 40 or 50 MB. Okay, it would not go in GBs. So we would be using hot storage. Uh, Ignore the premium. We were not going to use this. Okay, so if you see 1.116 per GB storage. So it is very cheap. We are not even exceeding 1 GB also. Even if you combine 10 companies of your Tally. Okay. And Data Lake charges you based on transfer into or outside the Data Lake. Okay. So if you write the files, this is the charge. And if you read the file, charge is 0.47. Now this is very cheap. Let me explain you. Okay, so it says 4 MB per 10,000. That means, let's say if your one file is of 4 MB and if you write 40,000 files of this 4 MB, your charge would be 0.47 rupees for the whole operation. Okay, so I think if you even run this for many months, charges would come in 20-30 rupees a month. It would not go even beyond that. Okay, so it is insanely cheap because we have very less size of our workload. Let's create our data lake. So this is a just one time step. Okay, so let's see. So just open your Azure portal, so portal.azure.com, and you must sign up with your Microsoft account. Okay, so I would go to all resource. I will hit create resource. Okay, see more in all service. And let's scroll down and go to storage. Okay, so data lake is nothing but an Azure storage. And from here, you need to choose Azure storage. Okay, storage account. Sorry, storage account. Let's click and let's create a storage account. So you need to select your resource group. Resource group is nothing but a cross tracking, your cost tracking unit. Okay. Now this storage name or domain should be unique. So probably you should write your company name, let's say suffixed by PVT Ltd or ORG, something like that. Let's say I have a company by name Excel Kida, just a hypothetical company, okay? Excel Kida Private Limited, PVT Ltd, no spaces allowed, okay? So it should be a plain text. And I think this name is not taken. This is available. A region, you can choose anyone. So I generally pick up India. Okay, performance standard, and change this to locally redundant LRS. Okay, go to next screen. Okay, now from here just enable this hierarchical namespace. Okay, and please ensure do not tick these two options. Do not tick these two options because this enables some very costly options. Okay, these two options are very costly and we are not going to use this. So please do not tick these two options. Okay. So we are going to use hot tire because we would be frequently syncing our tally data into this data lake. Okay. Next on networking, allow enable public access from all network. Okay. Remaining option can remain same. So we can keep this remaining option same. Next, next, next. Review it and let's hit create button once it gets enabled. Okay. Let's hit create. Okay, so Microsoft Azure would take 1 or 2 minutes to create your data lake. So let's wait. So once your data lake is created, you can see a screen something like this. Okay, so you can just click to go to resource. Okay, and this would navigate you to data lake screen. So now we need to remember two options here. So if you scroll here, okay, endpoints. So this is important because this is the URL which we use to access files stored in our data lake from Power BI or Excel. Okay, so if you scroll here, data lake storage. So this is the URL. Okay, this one is your URL. So for you, the URL would be a bit different. Okay, so because you would be having your company name in the URL. Okay, so from here you would be referring or connecting Excel or Power BI. And second one is access key. So this is the secret key or connection key to push your files into the data lake. So we would be uh, writing this or copy pasting this key into our Tally2 database utility. Okay. So we will see this when we synchronize the data. Let's download utility first. So ensure you download the latest version of utility where I introduced this Azure Data Lake transfer. Okay. So this project link is already there mentioned, and please ensure you don't use this download button. Okay. So if you scroll down and go to this download section, I have given this utility zip file here. Okay. So let me click and save link as. Okay. And let me, so I created a blank utility folder. I would save it here. Okay, and let me go to that folder and I would simply unzip it here. Okay, save unzip, extract here. So this would extract utility files here. So you can delete this 7-zip file. Okay, so we are set up with this. Ensure you have Node.js installed. Okay, so you can go to Node.js website from Google and download the latest version and install it. Okay, so that is a prerequisite. So you can see my tally is already running and I have already enabled XML server port. Okay, now first let's transfer the data into from tally to Azure Data Lake. So few again changes to utility config. So let me go to config.json, right click and edit it using Notepad++. Okay. Now few tweaks you need to mention. So make okay by default. So I written MS SQL because I by default it is transferring data to SQL Server. But here, instead of this MS SQL, just write Azure Data Lake Service, ADLS, Azure Data Lake Storage or Azure Data Lake Service. Okay. And in server, we need to write connection of our data lake, which is secret. Okay. So I would go to this my Azure Data Lake page, access key and connection string. So I would click show button, quickly copy this. Okay. And I will erase this localhost from the database server settings and paste it here. Okay. So this is our secret connection string, which would connect utility to our data lake. So this is unique to everyone. Okay. Then this this is the local tally. So I would keep it localhost port 9000. Okay. Let me check what year data is there. So it's financial year 2021. So let me make it 2021. Okay. Now the remaining setting are of no use. Okay. So I'll be picking data from the default company. Okay. Let me save this, Control S, save this. Okay. And before that, one more thing. So let's say if you can write your company name without any spaces, you can write it like my tally company is Techno Traders Ltd. Okay. So schema is nothing but a folder in our data lake because we can sync multiple tally companies. So in data lake, folders of each company would be created. So this name should be unique to your company name. So let's say techno underscore traders. Okay. I will save this and close this file. Okay. Now let me run the utility which would sync the data. So I'll double click here and run the utility. So you can watch on the screen, it is synchronizing the data. So first it would fetch the data from tally, generate the CSV file, and in data lake, CSV files are directly dumped or transferred. Okay, you can see all the CSV files are being programmatically uploaded to the data lake. So data lake transfer is over. Now let's see how to connect Power BI with the data lake. Okay, so you just need to click on the get data. Okay, and just type data space lake. Okay, so it would show two options. Now choose generation 2, Azure Data Lake Storage Generation 2. Just double click it. Okay, now it is asking for the URL to connect. So let's go to our data lake management portal. Okay, and if you go to the endpoint and scroll a bit, data lake storage. So this is your URL. Okay, whichever is in your case. So I would just click copy button, come back to Power BI, paste it, and just choose CDM folder view. Okay, and let's click OK. Now next it is asking for credentials. Okay, so I would click account key. So this is a secret key which connects Power BI to your instance of your data lake. Let's again go back to data lake management portal on Azure and scroll up, go to access keys and key. Okay, so key is to read your data from. So previously we used connection stream is used to connect and dump files, but key is used to connect to your database. So I would click show, copy this key and put it here, and Power BI would store this key in this machine, okay, for in this laptop. And let's click connect. So let me okay, some copy paste issue. Okay, so again I tried pasting it and now it got connected. Now you can see, so utility by default creates one folder called tally, a master folder, and if you expand this tally folder, each company you synchronize, a folder would be created. Okay, so this folder name is what you write in schema. Okay, schema is your folder name. So if you expand this, okay, you would find your data. So let's say if we want to import leisure group and maybe vouchers. So I will select all the tables or CSV files which I want to import, and I will click load, which will load all these files into the Power BI. Okay, let's wait. Okay, so data got loaded into Power BI. If you go to this table view, you can see the data. Okay, let's see how to grab data in Excel. So you need to have Office 365 subscription based Excel for this. Okay, so if you go to the data tab in this version and click on the get data, you would notice from Azure on Azure Data Lake storage. Okay, so if you are Office 2019 or maybe 16, you would not see this menu at all. Okay, so better to have Office 365. Okay, now let's go to Azure Management Portal. Okay, and let me go to the endpoints to grab the URL. Okay, so let me copy this URL and paste it here. Let's click OK. Okay, again, now it is asking for secret account key. Okay, let's go back to again Azure Management Portal. This time go to access key, click on the show, copy this key, okay, and paste it here, and let's hit connect. Now you might see this many times. Okay, you might have to again press back, okay, and again try to paste it. Let's try to paste it. Now this is some bug in Microsoft as seen. You have to again maybe copy this, paste it, and retry. Okay. Okay. Now this would not appear like Power BI. Simple. Okay. You need to hit transform data. Now this is our catalog or index page of various tables of the database or CSV files. Okay. So let's say if we want to import group, so right click here, make a reference. I would say MST underscore group. Okay, rename this table, and from here just locate group row and click on the binary. Okay, so this is the tally group data. Let's say we even want ledger table. Again, go back to query one. Okay, right click and make a reference of this. Let's say this is MST underscore ledger. Just locate MST ledger from here. Click on the binary. So this is the ledger table. Let me do it for voucher or transaction like this. TRN voucher or voucher header. Let me locate. Okay, in this fashion you can import as many tables of the tally which you need require for the analysis. And let's click close and load. Okay, this would load the data into Excel for further analysis. Okay, now how to analyze this data would be demonstrated in another video. But in this fashion, you can load the data in Excel for the further analysis. So we might be making pivot tables. From pivot tables, we would be making pivot charts for analytical dashboards here. So this demonstration was only for single company. Now let's see how to synchronize multiple companies using the same technique. Okay. Now assuming that I have two companies, techno traders and fraudulent syndicates. Now I want to synchronize different years because this both of the companies, if you see, the start year is different. Okay, data is different. So let's tweak the utility to synchronize data of multiple companies at the same time. Okay, so let me go to the utility folder. Let's open config.json just for reference purpose, and again come back to this folder, and now let's edit run.bat file. Okay, now this file by default reads the configuration from here. Okay, and directly runs it. But you can run a batch with different configuration specified here. So you can make this utility change few parameters or configuration based on the batch. Okay, let's say first I want to synchronize this Techno Traders Limited. Okay, for different financial year. So this thing would remain same. So only the thing which would change is that schema, that means folder name in the data lake, from and to date, and company we would need to manually specify, because by default it is picking the default company. Okay, so I need to tell it. So schema, so database schema. Okay, so I would write space double dash database dash schema space in double quotes, write the schema name. So you can copy paste this Techno Traders here. Then tally from date. Okay, space double dash tally dash from date space. Okay, in double quotes. So you see the from date. So it's, and I would again copy paste this portion, and instead of from I can write to date, which would be this one. Okay, to date. And one more thing we need to tell, space double dash tally dash company double quotes. So by default I have made it blank, that means pick up the data from whichever company is active, not in tally. Okay, but now I can affix or company name hard code it from the tally. So I just need go to tally Techno Traders Limited. Now you cannot make any spelling mistake, otherwise it would error it out. Okay, Techno Traders Limited. So ensure you write name very properly. Techno Traders Ltd. Let's reconfirm Techno Traders Ltd. Okay, let's save this. So this would synchronize data for Techno Traders Limited. I will select this right, shift plus and copy this line, again paste it. Okay, this time I want to synchronize. Next one is fraudulent syndicates. Okay, so fraudulent syndicate. So this is the folder name in data lake I want, and this company is from to date is 21/22. Okay, and company name is, let me erase this, fraudulent syndicate, FRADULENT syndicate. Okay, save it, Control S. So this would run two batches. While running first batch, it would change these settings dynamically or override these settings. This specific settings, remaining setting would remain same. Okay, and second batch it would again run, and it would again dynamically change the settings. So it would pick up data from fraudulent syndicate, from to it would change, and folder name for ADLS it would change it. Let's try to run it and let's see if it synchronized companies of two data or not. Okay, so I had saved this. Let me click run. This time it would synchronize for two traders. First doing it for Techno Traders. Let's see. Yes, it is saving. Then it would now upload the files. Okay, next it has instructed tally to pick data from company called fraudulent syndicate. So you would see this company automatically getting active in tally. Just ensure you don't go to tally and change anything. Okay, let this synchronization happen. Okay, over. Let's try to see if both the companies got synchronized or not. So I will Let's say I will use Power BI to check this. So let me go to Power BI. Okay, let me try to again connect this. So I would again use the recent connections. Okay, get data. Let me check if there is recent connection. Yes, recent connections. Let me try to connect. Now, this time if I expand this, I would see two folders here, fraudulent syndicates and techno traders. So I can again make a fresh Power BI file, and this Power BI file I can prepare this for fraudulent syndicates. Okay, so in this way you can synchronize unlimited companies which you want with very less pricing. Okay, so lastly, please try this by your own, and in the next few videos I would demonstrate how to create dashboards and reports in Excel and Power BI based on this data which we are loaded on Data Lake. If you like this technique, do like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel.